And for more on this, we're joined by SABC correspondent in Lesotho, Rapelang Radebe. Rapelang, a very good evening to you. So, besides the green energy economy that Lesotho is hoping to get out of the summit in terms of investment, let's just first start with overall the value of the summit for Lesotho, particularly of the US-Africa summit.
Indeed, thank you very much, Sepisa, and compliments of the season once again. Lesotho has really, I think, gone to this summit fully prepared, making sure that it scores as much as possible out of the summit. Firstly, saying they want to maximize on their unique territory to make sure that they can convince as many clients, as many investors as possible to see Lesotho in a different light. They have begged that some of the low-hanging fruits. It's already the advantage on the clothing and textile industry, where many of the investors were starting to look alternatively elsewhere. And they said they have met some of the key decision makers to influence them to reconsider to come back to Lesotho and try to at least show them some benefits of why Lesotho is still a more investor-friendly environment for them to come and invest. They said they have actually clinched a deal to construct one of the best pharmaceutical industry that will be placed in Lesotho, with an aim that it can actually start supplying South Africa, the Southern African region and Africa and beyond. But it will be housed and based in Lesotho. There will be a huge summit, I think, that will be coming of actual investors that will be meeting directly with Lesotho in the coming year. So quite a mixed bag of what they say. These are immediately tangible low-hanging fruits that can be implemented, never mind about AGOA and others.
And speaking about that clean sources of energy, hydropower that Lesotho is offering, let's just first start with the projects that Lesotho has with South Africa at the moment and what it's seeking to do, replicate on the rest of the continent and perhaps internationally as well.
Indeed. I think most of the Lesotho water, many still say there's a lot of water that simply passes and that could be harnessed. They are, with the new and current Pudihadi, they intend to increase the output of the already, I think, 72 megawatts of hydropower plant. And they're saying they're in the process of trying to intensify that, such that it comes to a point whereby Lesotho can at least get its maximum capacity from within, from that very project alone. But they are saying there is quite, because of the altitude, clean air, wind, those mountains can be utilized to an extent that they can really start exporting electricity. But also they said they got fascinated, I think, as they got presentations from the possibilities with the hydrogen. And I think we saw in Cape Town recently how hydrogen is becoming a new source of energy that I think the world is looking at. And they said if you already have abundant water supply, I think it's easier to tap into that hydrogen, knowing that you do not need to do much because water is already available in abundance. So I think they're trying to say whatever we have, let's try and maximize on it.
And are there any community-led projects in the midst of this?
You're absolutely right. I think one of the cemented deals, I think it's one with they call it Millennium Challenge account, which has actually promised and actually expedited because of this particular meeting that they will be speeding up the project, which was due to start in 18 months, but they said it will now start in 12 months because of the prospects that they were showing an interest. I'm saying that because it will be targeting mostly the citrus fruits that they say there's a unique advantage that the mountainous areas is a fertile land for people to develop the citrus fruit. And this is where communities will be coming together and other relatively unexplored avenues when it comes to fruit industry. They said that this is where I think people should start to shift focus from your conventional maize meal and our traditional, and explore other things that can be of newer, higher value. I think that also has huge interest in the outside market. We've seen apples, we've seen peaches, we've seen the plums, I think, which are becoming much apricot, much more in high quality and less of too much interference in terms of pesticides. I think they say you get the best, most clean without much interference of the pesticides. So I think these are unique opportunities where the villages can actually come together, lease their fields such that the yield becomes more of a cooperative industry. I think this is where the community can say we can take this initiative to our hands and make it a success.
And Rapelang, was there any conversation, as we're just talking about the agriculture sector, but I want to lead it to climate change, but more in relation to food security, because I know there was a discussion around, resilient food systems, and some of that is climate resilient food systems as well.
You are absolutely right, Tsepiso, because one of the presentations actually was alluding to the fact that there needs to be a more scientific research. Times have changed. That means old habits of following a particular pattern of planting seasons, things have shifted. And because of the climate change, rapid rains that fall, there needs to be a proper scientific study that needs to be followed as to which plants are more suitable, which crops are more suitable at which terrain. Lesotho is also known for best quality potatoes. So there is a certain area, if you go call it Simongo, where everybody lauds the quality of the potatoes that they have. Now the question is, where else can they maximize? And they have actually also said, if you look at the northern region of Lesotho, in fact, the southern region, it's a relatively dry area, and this is where this is earmarked mostly for your solar power energy, and all the projects that really do not depend much on rain, and it is more desert-like with the conditions. So they say designate the country and maximize with the best, more efficient type of projects that can yield high results in short time. So yes, climate change does play a very crucial role in understanding exactly how you can yield a lot out of a very small portion of what you possess. So lots of learning camps that are coming. I think the Americans are putting a lot of money and following up on their projects. And I think issues of agriculture, issues of clean energy, they are the most, and health, they are the ones that are dominating the discussion so far.
Well, thank you so much, Rapelang.